let's go live for the first time in ages. Are we live? I'm waiting for me to show. There we go. Wait, what? Stream is offline. What? How is the stream offline? Reload. Apparently I have an excellent connection. This is good. There we go. Alright, cool. I'm here. Long time no fucking stream, huh? Now, I'm gonna be coughing. I'm still getting over shit. This fucking chest infection is one of the worst things I've ever had. Massive pain in the ass. But, this direct is gonna be starting in a few minutes. How long have we got? 3 minutes. Let's share it around. Right, let's close this, and then we'll just kick back and wait. So, I am not expecting much. It's too early for a new generation. I don't even think we've got the anime in this country yet. I'm looking forward to that, though. I think, it's funny, I think the Pokemon games have started going downhill around the same time. Around the same time the anime has started to go uphill. There's Woofer. Hey. Apologies if I start coughing during this, by the way. I'm still getting over the chest infection, as you can probably hear from my voice. I'm over most of it, but yeah. I've got my voice back. It's still not entirely back, but it's come back for the most part. But yeah, as I was saying, I think the anime started getting better around Generation 6. I will never tell you outside of nostalgia that the Pokemon anime is any good. However, Generation 6 onwards, it actually starts getting pretty good. Which is incidentally when the game started having problems. But yeah, so we've not, I don't even think we've got the new Scarlet and Violet anime in this country yet. I don't think it's been translated yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, it's way too early for a new generation. Hope you're well, dude. I'm doing a hell of a lot better than I was. Trust me, this chest infection is one of the worst things I've ever had. It's not the worst thing. It's not the worst thing I've ever had, but it's fucking close. Just because of how much it's completely knocked me out of commission. I literally walked up the road to a neighbor's house earlier today. I got into his and started coughing up a lung. I just can't move properly because it affects your breathing. It's a pain in the ass. But, yeah, so it's too early for a new generation. And the new DLC in Pokemon, it will begin shortly. The new DLC in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is set in, I forget the name of the region, but it's set in the Black and White region. And it's full of references. One of the characters is a relative of Dryden, who was the champion at one point in the Black and White games. There's a bunch of references. Oh, one of the characters is the daughter of Clayton, the ground type gym leader of that one. There's a lot of references to Generation 5. A lot of the music in the new DLC is straight from Black and White as well. So, oh, here we go. God, that's loud. We may have to adjust volume. We may have to adjust the volume. Let me know how I sound and how everything merges. Because that is really fucking loud for me. I'm expecting shit from this, but but with you, it will be a blast. That's what I'm hoping. If it's trash, we can at least take the piss. I'm glad you're starting to feel better, though. Sorry I've been yeah. But, so, the black and white remakes are coming, because Pokemon always hints them in the game, and this new DLC, which has been pretty fun, actually, this new DLC is very much hinting that the black and white remakes are coming. So that's what this could be, but I'm honestly expecting, much like yourself, Bert, I'm expecting mobile game stuff, live service stuff, nothing really substantial. I did see that you told me that there's going to be a new Let's Go rumor, which I can't see. More likely it'll be Pokemon Go. But I'd be okay with Let's Go. I've said before, Let's Go isn't my favorite game in the series. However, as a spin-off series, like Mystery Dungeon or something like that, I think I'd enjoy it. I would enjoy Pokemon Let's Go, Marill and Togepi. You know what I mean? So,
from the Pokemon Company. Today, February 27, is Pokemon Day. This is the date that the Pokemon Red and Pokemon Green games were first released in Japan. Our adventures with Pokemon, which started with the simple fun of collecting, trading, and battling, the Pokemon Red and Pokemon Green games have expanded to fit into so many facets of
here we
daily
go.
life,
We're talking about Gen 1
walking
again, guys.
We'll keep
I'm so sick of
ourselves
Gen
to
1.
create new ways to enjoy Pokemon, and we hope you'll continue your adventures with us.
That's better?
Today,
Great.
We will be bringing you all the latest news about Pokemon, including our newest titles. Mr. Utsunomiya, please take it away.
Hello, I'm Utsunomiya from the Pokemon Company. I hope everyone has enjoyed their adventures in the Pokemon Scarlet and
that
Pokemon
Charizard in the background is looking very yellow.
To commemorate Pokemon Day, we've planned a series of Terra Raid battle events where you'll be able to face off against a mighty
Alright, I'll go for
Blastoise,
Venusaur.
and Charizard.
I like Venusaur.
These Terra Raid battle events will begin tomorrow.
I might do that.
We hope you will all enjoy these raids.
Ground type Venusaur.
Today, I'd also like to share the latest updates on a number of our other games. Please have a look at this.
I don't think it's going to be anything huge, but we'll see. Right away, Pokemon Go.
A collaboration event with Pokemon Go is on its way.
I sold my copy so I don't get the raid. Oh, really? After the big thing with Mewtwo? I'm surprised by that.
Pikachu wearing Cap's hat is making its debut. It even
Why does Pikachu always look so much better in a hat? I don't like Pikachu, but for some reason, every single time Pikachu is wearing a hat, it looks good.
Armarouge, and Ceruledge are coming too. And Liko and Roy will be dropping in when you snap a pic and go snapshot. So set out on an adventure with your new friends.
Mm-hmm. Cool. The new mascots are in the game. Okay. I wonder when Horizons is coming out in the UK. Let me have a look. Pokemon Horizons English dub. The first 6 episodes was released in 2023 in the BBC iPlayer? Really? God, first they had the Pokemon app. First they had the Pokemon TV app. Then it moved to Netflix. And now it's on the BBC iPlayer. I'm not gonna lie, I would kind of love waking up next to Raikou. They're bringing the dogs to... I play this. I do play this. I've been playing Pokemon Sleep for a while. I enjoy it. So this is the one app I'm actually alright with. They're bringing the dogs. Yeah, cool. I'm alright with that. After the Mewtwo raid, I never want to do it again. Yeah, the raids are kind of annoying because you really, a lot of the time, you either need to be carried or you need to bring the right Pokemon.
We're the greatest in the world.
Because they are a challenge, so you need to kind of like raise them properly. Right, considering this is Silver, this will be Pokemon Masters, the mobile game. They'll be advertising. Yeah, here we go. They're advertising new characters that they're bringing to that mobile game. Yeah, here we go. I play Pokemon Sleep. That's one I do play. I've got a Gengar, a Charizard, a Raichu, Tysplosion. The reason why I have these is because they are good. I literally have my team built based on use rather than my favorite Pokemon. Because unfortunately, like, Vaporeon is kind of shit in the game. So I play Pokemon Sleep, so I'm perfectly okay with Raikou and whatnot coming to the game. I just hope they're good. More updates for the Pokemon Cafe game. Okay. Zero interest. It really is exactly what we expected, isn't it? It's just fucking live service shit and mobile game stuff. Yeah. It's the new generation. It's time to bring the big hitters into every one of our little side games. Hey, Fellings is pretty great though. I love Fellings. I couldn't be bothered. I think you need to get yourself into a bit of a routine with it. Like, the last meal is 6 o'clock onwards. So really, all you need to do is put it on, make him eat a few berries, like, select all the berries, and then go to sleep. Because what happens is, if he's eating berries and you tell him to go to sleep, he puts them all on a plate and just eats them. So you don't actually have to wait for him to eat all the berries. Have a look at this video. Because if you're going to sleep, he'll just eat them in one. Pokemon Milk! Here's an app where you get your kids to play Pokemon Milk, to drink milk. And every time they drink milk, they get cards. I have heard that there's been so many issues with the app that moved the Pokemon card game to the phone. There has been so many issues with it. I don't know whether that's what this is, but apparently there's been a shit ton of issues. People have lost their accounts because the account that they've had on the computer for years just hasn't translated to the mobile version. Like, they've treated it like a new account, so you can't log in because your email address is associated with the one on the computer. But it's supposed to connect. It's supposed to be the same account. It's weird. There's been so many issues with it, apparently. I've never been into the card game. I've always found it to be a colossal waste of money. So I never bothered. But, yeah, apparently there's been a lot of issues with the app. Literally what we predicted. Yeah, I mean, it's to be expected. It's Pokemon Day, so they pretty much have to do something on Pokemon Day. But if they've got nothing to announce, then this is what we're gonna get. I don't care about you nice either. I did try Masters a few years ago because I like the idea of Masters, but I would prefer Masters be an actual video game. The idea of playing an actual video game where you swap out various teams of, like, based on the characters from the series and the anime, like the game series and the anime series, playing as different characters and their teams to take on challenges. I really like that idea. I just prefer it to be in an actual game and not a mobile game.
What you just saw was the world's first look at Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket.
Yeah, there's been so many issues with this app, apparently.
Pokemon cards, which players all over the world have enjoyed since they debuted in 1996, but in a new digital format. The Pokemon Company is developing this game.
Pokemon Trading Card Game on Game Boy. I have never played that. I own it. I did buy it back when you could buy old games on a Nintendo property, unlike the Switch. I own it on the DS, but I've never played it.
Mr. Kitano,
I will do it at one point.
Hello, everyone.
Immersive cards, guys.
Creatures Inc.
Immersive
I'd like to start
cards.
by thanking everyone for enjoying the Pokemon Trading Card Game. With Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket, we hope to bring you all a new way to enjoy the Pokemon Trading Card Game, so we are hard at work developing digital cards.
Words cannot describe how little of a shit I give
when we
about
develop
this.
physical cards, we strive
The
to
only
please
thing
by
I like
taking
about the
great care
card
with our
game
paper
is the
quality,
art,
colors,
because the art
and
is
printing
so cool.
process.
But that's it.
Since
I don't
this
give a
game
shit
uses
about the
mobile
card game.
devices rather than paper, we're challenging
I run my
ourselves to
DS2,
express that
nice.
care in new ways that are only possible digitally, such as using the characteristics of the screen to show off brilliant colors and stylish effects.
So animations.
One way we're
You've used a video game to add animations to a
players the
card.
experience of leaping into the world
Wow.
of the card illustration.
That is neat.
What's more, we've developed new
that is
streamlined
neat.
game
I've got to
modes
admit,
based on
that
our
is
existing
neat,
battle
but
system, so you can enjoy a
it's
quick
not
battle
worth playing
during
a
the free
card game
moments
to
in
play
your
it,
day.
you know?
Our 3 companies
I
are
don't
all
think
working
it'll piss
hard
off
to deliver
scalpers
a fun
that much.
experience for those of you who
One of the
already enjoy
things
the
with
Pokemon trading card
the
game,
PC
as
version
well
of the
as those
game
who've never played
is you
before.
can actually enter codes that
We hope you
you
look
get
forward to
from
the results of our latest
buying
efforts in the world
physical
of the Pokemon trading
things
card game,
and
Pokemon
putting them
Trading
into the
Card
game.
Game Pocket.
So,
Thank you so much.
when you bought physical deck of cards,
Thank
you
you,
actually
Mr.
got
Sal.
those cards on the computer as well, which was a brilliant
We plan
idea,
to
by the
launch
way. I
Pokemon
think that's a
Trading Card
fantastic
Game
idea
Pocket within
because
2024.
you're not buying these different cards on different
look
platforms.
forward to
When you
more
buy
details in
one
the
in the
future.
real world, you get them in the digital world
Just
as well.
one
So
more
if the
thing.
phone does the same
We'd
thing,
like to end today's presentation
it's actually
with
just going
one
to help
final video for
scalpers
you all.
because people are going to want these
Thank you for
cards to
tuning
put in their video game. It's interesting how they keep showing the unknowns. I can't read that properly. I'm sorry. I can't read unknown properly. Question mark? Ooh. Unknowns are Generation 2. So that rumor about Let's Go Gen 2 might be true. And if that's the case, I'm buying that because I did enjoy Let's Go. I'm sick of Gen 1 and I hate the Pokemon Go capture mechanic where you just capture. I remember when catch them all meant, gotta catch them all meant fill the Pokedex up. Not catch literally every single Pokemon in existence and all of its ancestors. I remember it just being fill the Pokedex up, not every one of them. So yeah, I hate that the emphasis on catch. I think it's boring as shit. But I did like Let's Go because of the following. Every Pokemon in Let's Go would follow you, and some of them that you could ride, and they'd all have their own unique animations. And that's something people have wanted in Pokemon for years. So yeah, I did like Let's Go. So as I say, if they make Pokemon Let's Go Gen 2, Pokemon Let's Go Togepi and Marill, I'll be all over that because I like the idea of that. But maybe that's what they're hinting at with the unknowns. Who knows? I like that too. Kind of reminds me of the time when you get a game for a PlayStation 3 and you get the Vita version for free. Yeah, exactly. Which was also very good because it promoted getting the Vita. Which was kind of like you do that with the Steam Deck now, though, don't you? You buy a game on Steam and chances are Pokemon Legends. What? Oh, they're making a new Pokemon Legends game. Speaking of catch. Well, that is probably one I'm not going to buy because I am very much in the minority. A lot of people loved Pokemon Legends. I thought it was shit. It was so boring. That's it. That's it. The big announcement is concept art for a new Legends game. They're doing Pokemon Legends Gen 6? We've skipped the Generation 5 remake and we're doing Gen 6? What? Pokemon Legends Z. Alright, I'll say this. I actually like Gen 3. Pokemon X and Y has the best online connectivity of any Nintendo or Pokemon game before or since. Pokemon Oras and Pokemon X and Y, that seamless connectivity with other players that you can see playing all the time, that seamless connectivity with other players in Gen 6 is the best that they've ever done. And then they immediately fucked it up afterwards and it's never been good again. But the Gen 6 connectivity was fantastic. My favorite Pokemon, Hurlucha, is from Gen 6. Gen 6 is a fantastic... I really like X and Y. I'm one of the massive defenders of X and Y. X and Y was great. However, It wasn't finished. X and Y wasn't finished. There's so many story beats that feels like the whole thing with AZ, the big tall guy that used to be a king. The whole thing with him, the whole thing with his unique patent of Floette, which was going to be a distribution but never happened. The whole thing with Xerneas, that they moved on to Generation 7 for some reason. Despite Xerneas having nothing to do with Gen 7, they moved him over to Gen 7. The whole deal with Xerneas, where he was just shoved in at the end and they didn't do anything with him. Gen 6 was not complete. They didn't fit. This is what I mean about the games going down Gen 6 onwards. Gen 6 was great, but the story of that game was not finished. They released that game in an incomplete state. And if you pay attention to the story, it's really fucking obvious that that was the case. So, yeah. So, maybe if they do a Pokemon Legends Z, they will actually dive in to the history of... Because keep in mind, we're talking about war here. We're talking about war. We're talking about Kalos. We're talking about world-ending nuclear weapons. So, story-wise, considering Legends is set in the past, story-wise, a Generation 6 Legends game could actually be really fucking good. But, what is the gameplay of Pokemon Legends? Catch Pokemon, 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 catch Pokemon. It's literally Pokemon Go if it was an actual video game. It is boring as shit. Catch Pokemon, catch Pokemon, catch Pokemon. Walk across a boring ass, empty ass world. Catch Pokemon, catch Pokemon, catch Pokemon, catch Pokemon. But guys, it has mild action mechanics. You have to sneak up behind Pokemon. Wow, best game ever made. Catch Pokemon, catch Pokemon, catch Pokemon, catch Pokemon. It's boring as shit. It's boring as shit. The actual gameplay of Legends needs to be improved if this is going to be any good. Now, I'm going to be in the minority because most people love Pokemon Legends, but I don't. I think it is one of the most soulless, boring, grindy-ass experiences Pokemon has ever made. The new Pokemon are cool. That's kind of all the nice things I have to say about it, though. The concept of a Pokemon Z, like, set in the past during the war kind of Legends game, is story-wise is amazing. But gameplay-wise, I am not expecting much. So, yeah. That entire direct was mobile game, mobile game, mobile game, mobile game, mobile game, mobile game, mobile game. Hi guys, here's a few sketches of a game that might be coming out in the future. We've got no gameplay. We've got no information on what it's going to be like. We've got nothing to tell you whatsoever. But look, here's a sketch of Kalos City. Check that out. Look, it's Kalos City, but in 3D. Wow! Wow! Amazing! What's that, gameplay? Information on what you're going to be doing in this video game? Look at the pretty graphic. That was fucking pointless. But I had fun ranting. It was also short, Jesus Christ. We got the obligatory Gen 1 mention. Yeah, mobile game, 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 mobile games. Like, I have a phone. I do have a phone. But I don't want a game on it. The only video game, proper video game, I have ever played on this that is worthwhile is Honkai Star Rail. And it's still better playing that game on PC than mobile. This is not a platform you'll want a game on. It's a shit thing to game on. But yeah, pretty graphic. I don't know. I mean, maybe it might be good, but if the gameplay is the same as Legends, I am probably not going to be buying this one. Because, yeah, Legends is so bad. I've never finished Legends. I got so bored of that game, I tried to make the game entertaining for myself by capturing a shiny alpha Pokemon. So I grinded that out for a few days, burnt myself out completely, and never went back. Because I thought, okay, maybe if I could catch a Pokemon I'd really enjoy, because this is Gen 4 and I don't like most Gen 4 Pokemon, maybe I'd enjoy it. But, nah. I had insanely low expectations and I was still disappointed. Doesn't that just say it all? That has to be the worst direct they've done, to be honest. That one was really bad. I actually agree. That is the worst direct I've ever seen. Mobile game, mobile game, mobile game. Here, guys. Here's some concept art. I hope it's good. I hope that we really add more gameplay than just catching Pokemon. But it really showcases that a lot of people out there hate turn-based combat. That's what it comes down to. A lot of people out there hate turn-based combat. And if you make a game very soulless and dumbed down and just add random basic-ass action combat mechanics, people will eat that shit up like a crack addict finally having a bit of crack. Because people are dumb. Pokemon Legends proved to me that the majority of gamers out there are fucking stupid. Because, well, what happened? People bitched and moaned about the wild area in Pokemon Sword and Shield. They bitched and moaned about the wild area. They called the wild area one of the most boring things Pokemon has ever done. And then they praise Legends? The entire game is a wild area. Oh, but it has some mild action game mechanics, so obviously it's the best thing in the world. People are dumb. Gamers are dumb. They're dumb. They'll shit over one game for doing something and then praise another game for doing the exact same fucking thing. Legends was so bad. I like Legends, but they showed nothing, literally nothing. CGI cutscenes don't work for me. Yeah, that was bad, dude. That was really bad. On the plus side, if they're working on Legends, oh, that's a worry. Legends was really popular. I tell you what else was really popular, Pokemon Go. And since Pokemon Go was really popular, they have done their damnedest to implement Pokemon Go in the video games. And it's always been the worst part of the video games. So if Legends is popular, they're going to do their best to implement Pokemon Legends into future main series Pokemon games. The games really are just going to become mindlessly catching Pokemon over and 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 over again. I miss the days where you'd go on an adventure, you'd catch a Pokemon, that Pokemon would be your Pokemon, and you would bond with it as you went on an adventure together. I don't really miss the days of capture Caterpie, capture Caterpie, capture Caterpie, capture Caterpie, capture Rattata, capture Rattata, capture Rattata, capture Rattata, capture Pikachu, capture Pikachu, capture Caterpie, capture Rattata, capture Pikachu, capture Pikachu, oh Charizard, no, you capture a Pokemon of a type and you go on a journey together. You don't capture every single Pokemon in existence. Game Freak honestly died when Pokemon Go came out. I completely agree. Pokemon Go had the same effect on Game Freak as Skyrim had on Bethesda. This is called being damned by success. Bethesda had never experienced this at the success from one of their video games like they did with Skyrim. And Skyrim was fun. It was good. I love that game. I've had a lot of fun with it over time. But after Skyrim came out and Bethesda tasted success, that's when that company became shit. After that, we got Skyrim. the worst game they've ever made in Starfield, which barely qualifies as a video game. I have played walking simulators with more gameplay than that fucking thing. More engaging worlds than that fucking thing. More interaction than that fucking thing. Jesus Christ, Starfield was bad. Fallout 4 was a dumbed down version of the Fallout games, more than they've even dumbed it down in the past. Friggin' Fallout 76, don't even get me started on that game. And then Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go ruined Game Freak. I agree. The mobile industry ruined Game Freak. Game Freak is making a fucking game about horse racing and breeding at this point as well. It's like they keep telling us, oh, we don't have the time and resources in order to make these Pokemon games as good as they really should be. Meanwhile, they're making a shit ton of mobile games. They're making other games nobody gives a shit about. Maybe if we took the development teams from all these fucking side games that nobody really gives a shit about and you put them on Pokemon, maybe you'd be able to make the game that people actually give a shit about good. But that would affect the bottom line. All the money they get from microtransactions. So, yeah, I mean, we'll close it off here, but a Gen 6 X and Y Legends game, concept-wise, could actually be really good. Story-wise, could actually be really good. Gameplay is going to be terrible. Unless they evolve from Arceus. It's going to be terrible. And they wonder why people will move on to other games like Palworld and such. I mean, yeah, that's the thing, right? Friggin' the monster taming genre has really set off. We've got disc creatures. We've got cassette beasts. We've got Koromon. We've got fucking that one game coming out by the guys who made shit. What the fuck's that game called? I can't remember. I'm gonna bring up the list because I've got a bunch of these on Steam itself. Let me quickly find disc creatures, right? So monster tamer genre. We've got Abomination, Cassette Beasts, Koromon, Disc Creatures, Monster Crown, Monster Sanctuary, Nexomon, another Nexomon, Power World, Pixels, Digital Creatures, Cyrilim, and Temtem. But Temtem is garbage and so is the company. Don't bother with Temtem. Temtem is soulless and the company is just after money and is constantly following the newest trends. Temtem is just as bad as Game Freak. Ignore Temtem. But the rest of them, really good. Monster Sanctuary is fantastic. Metroidvania-style Pokemon game. Cassette Beasts is incredible. If you like Persona or Digimon, you'll be all over Cassette Beast. Disc Creatures is extremely nostalgic for people who like Gen 1 Pokemon. Koromon is very, very good. Nexomon is probably one of the most successful, like, you know, ones, like, Pokemon style game out there. Cyrilim is an old school RPG style game. Not to be taken lightly. It's difficult, but it is a monster tamer. You know, there's Pixels, Digital Creatures. That is a roguelike monster tamer. We've got Palworld, which is a survival game monster tamer. There's so many monster tamers on the market right now. And there are so many amazing ones. Check out Gym Leader Ed. That's his whole thing. On the Switch last year, late last year. What was it called? Dragon's Crown Monsters. Incredible game. Really good game. And I'm a big fan of the Dragon Quest Monsters games that exist on the DS. If you can get your hands on them, play them. Monster Hunter Stories. Another monster tamer. Great game. Really good. We've got Monster Hunter Stories 2 is on the Switch, and we're having a remake coming out soon of the original Monster Hunter Stories for those of you who missed it on the DS. Monster taming games are doing big right now. And they're doing big right now because, quite frankly, people are sick of the bullshit Pokemon is putting out. I really like Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet, outside of the bugs, might just be the best game in the series. I love Scarlet and Violet. I will sit here and defend X and Y. I love Sun and Moon. And Sword and Shield, despite being, in my opinion, the worst games in the series, still have a lot to love. I don't hate Pokemon. I fucking love Pokemon. But I'm not a fucking fanboy. You know what I mean? And there are so many amazing Monster Tamer games, and there are more coming out all the time because, quite frankly, people love Pokemon, and Pokemon's just not delivering. They're not delivering what they should. And the indie market is filling in, just like for so many other AAA studios, the indie market is filling in for where Pokemon is failing, which is good. Support these other Monster Tamer games. Steam lists them as creature collectors or creature captures. I don't know what they're. The Monster Tamer is the genre. Support these other Monster Tamer games. Check them out. I'll go through the list that I personally have here. These are not all of them, but these are the ones that I own. Abomination. Cassette Beasts I couldn't recommend enough. Koromon is fantastic. Disc Creatures is super nostalgic for Gen 1 fans. Monster Crown is, again, super nostalgic for like Gen 1, 2 fans. Monster Sanctuary is a Metroidvania-style Monster Tamer. Very, very good. Nexomon is like the closest to Pokemon you could probably get. There's about 3 of them out right now, or 2 of them with a 3rd one coming soon. Nexomon is very, very good. Palworld is huge right now. It's basically Ark Survival Evolved, but with monsters to tame. Great game. Pixels Digital Creatures is a roguelike for people who like that style of game. Cyrillim Ultimate. That is an old school RPG, like an old school. Think Ultima or something like that. This is an old school RPG Monster Tamer. There are so many of these games on the market right now. I'm streaming, I'm a month late. There are so many of these games on the market right now that are quite frankly doing what Pokemon are not. So, much like with any other AAA game, AAA studio out there, look to the indies that are aiming to do something similar because you're gonna have a better experience. But yeah, we're getting a new Legends game. Catch Pokemon, 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 catch Pokemon. Because every game has to be Pokemon Go now. We're getting a new Legends game. I like the concept, but it's gonna be shit because Legends Arceus was terrible. I know I'm in the minority with that, but when the core gameplay is walking around in a boring ass, empty, barren world that does not reward exploration, and all you're doing is mindlessly capturing Pokemon, what the fuck is the point? Well, they're not necessarily skipping Gen 5. Like, they still... Because keep in mind, it's like, we got a Gen 4 remake, which was shat out. The Diamond and Pearl, the brilliant Diamond and Pearl, was the laziest game Pokemon has ever made. It was a 100% minus the underground copy-paste version of Diamond and Pearl, but worse. It controlled like ass. The only good thing about that remake was the underground, and that was it. It was a fucking awful remake. It was worse than the original. You want the best version of Gen 4? Play Platinum. They didn't even use the upgrades and additions that came with Platinum because then they couldn't sell you 2 versions of the same fucking game. All the direct was mobile games and some concept art of Pokemon, a new Pokemon Legends game. They're making Pokemon Legends but for Gen 6. Pokemon Legends Z. Well, Pokemon Legends Z AZ, which AZ is the name of a character from Gen 6. because Gen 6 was just kind of rushed story-wise. So the concept is there, because if you know anything about the Generation 6 story, it's actually really fucking, like, hardcore. It's really brutal. It's really interesting. But it's one of those where you have to go away from the game and look into it to understand what the fuck's going on. But the Gen 6 the Gen 6 games were rushed. Well, it's not a remake of Gen 6. Oh, you like that remake. That's fair enough. If you like the remake of Generation 4 because you've never played the original, that's fair enough. But generally speaking, when people play remakes of Pokemon games, they want Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. They want Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. They want games that basically give you the experience of the original game, but they implement a lot of the modern generation mechanics and kind of do something different with it. ORAS is a different experience from playing original original Sapphire and Ruby. It's very different, but it's the same basic story, but the experience is very different. That's what people want from remakes, not blatant just copy and paste copies. But considering the DLC from Scarlet and Violet, we're probably still getting a Generation 5 remake. I just hope, unlike Gen 4, which was shafted, they actually do a good job. Because over time, Gen 5 has gone from the most hated game in the series to the most praised game in the series. Gold and Silver is no longer the game people claim is the best game in the series. Black and White and Black and White 2 are the games people claim are the best games in the series now. The common opinion in the community has changed. So, yeah. Black and White, they're going to have to do well. Because if they don't, people are going to riot. People are going to be more pissed about Pokemon than they have been in a long time. So hopefully, they're bringing out a Legends game to bide us over while they actually work on a good game. Fingers crossed, I hope. Mystery Dungeons is my favorite in the series. I mean, if we're talking about spin-offs, Pokemon Conquest is my favorite of the spin-offs. Pokemon Conquest is so good. But yeah, like, it's like you and me said, Burr. It's pretty much exactly what we both expected. It was just mobile game stuff, but the fact that we're getting a new Legends game, of all the spin-offs they could do another version of, no Mystery Dungeon, no Pokemon Ranger, no Snap, no fucking Let's Go, none of the spin-offs I would rather see. We get fucking Legends. I get it. It was popular. The majority of gamers are dumb, and all you need to do is get rid of turn-based combat and throw in some basic-ass, super simple action combat, and people act like it's revolutionary. I get it. But all the gameplay is catch Pokemon, catch Pokemon, catch Pokemon, catch Pokemon, catch Pokemon. The same Pokemon, mind you. You're not filling out the Pokedex. You're capturing every single Pokemon in existence. This is Pokemon Go if it was an actual video game. Legends is terrible. But we're getting a new one of them because that was popular. Let's just hope that Legends AZ fills in for where Pokemon X and Y dropped the ball because it was rushed out story-wise. Because X and Y has a really good story. They skipped Unova because it was too good for a Legends game. True. Let's just hope that we get a good Unova remake. Because Unova, as I've just said, Unova has gone from like the game people hate the most to the game people praise the most over the years. Because gamers are weird. I've always loved Unova. I think Unova is one of the best. I've always thought Unova is one of the best games in the series. One game I have changed my opinion of is Gen 2. because I've noticed more of the flaws in Gen 2 over the years, but I still love it. But yeah, like X and Y, I will defend until the cows come home. I loved X and Y. Best online connectivity. Pokemon and Me was fantastic. Super Training was fantastic. So many quality of life improvements. Mega Evolution I don't care about, but X and Y was very, very good. However, the story was rushed. So, a Legends game could fill in for where they dropped the ball all those years ago. But the gameplay is boring as shit. It's just mindlessly capturing Pokemon over and over and over again. So, yeah. Let's just hope that they're biding time and they're making a Unova remake that is actually good. And we're not going to get a repeat of Diamond and Pearl where they just shit it out as lazily as possible. Fingers crossed. Game Freak, please make a game I can actually feel comfortable praising. Please. But yeah, mobile games and concept art. Pretty much what we expected. I play Pokemon Sleep, so them adding the legendary dogs to that is nice. I won't use them, however, unless they're actually good. There's a reason why I have Charizard on my team in Pokemon Sleep, and it's not because I'm a big fan of Charizard. It's because it's a really good Pokemon to use in the game. Because unfortunately Vaporeon is not as good as I'd like. Yeah, we've got new additions to the MOBA. We've got new additions to the cafe game. Yeah. We've got the card game app that has apparently, from what I've heard, had a shit ton of problems and fucked with people's original card game account. So, well, when's this coming? Does it say? I like how they kind of throw us off as well with the unknown. I've been seeing this unknown and I'm like, oh, are we getting like Let's Go Togepi and Marill? It's like, nah, Gen 6. Maybe they're doing this instead of a Gen 6 remake as well. Imagine getting fucking Legends fucking AZ instead of a Gen 6 remake in the future. That sucks. I guess I missed all the cringe. Not really, you just missed a bunch of mobile game adverts. Like, I'll show you the only interesting thing in this. Here we are, I'll play it. This is the only interesting thing in this entire direct. Concept art. I can't wait to see the comments on the Pokemon video and the dislikes. To be honest, I actually think this is going to go over well. Because most people loved the Legends game. I hated it, but I know I'm in the minority. Most people love Legends Arceus. Yeah, here's Kalos, the city of Kalos. I wonder if the entire game is actually set in the city as well. You don't actually go outside of that. Because they could just recreate the whole city. You've got my favorite Pokemon right there, Halucha. Notice that. Halucha is my boy. Aegislash was the Pokemon I was... Well, Honedge was the Pokemon I was most excited for when they announced Gen 6. Honedge is so cool. I like a lot of the Pokemon in Gen 6. Yeah, there's Kalos. Lumio City. Pokemon Legends. Z. And then A comes under the background. And AZ is a character that is in X and Y who is a king that has lived for centuries that tried to essentially... I forget exactly the reason why, but essentially he created a nuke that used a bunch of Pokemon souls in order to power, and that I forget it. I think it was one of these like anime plots where he was upset because something was gonna die or something, so he decided to destroy the world. I can't remember exactly how it went, and he's been punished by living for a long, long time. The guy's a fucking giant. He's lived for years, and you run into him in X and Y, but because the game is rushed, you really don't see the proper plot and story that they wrote for the character. So considering this is AZ, it might be based on him and the past, which is interesting. But the gameplay is going to be shit. Game Gen 6 with the mechanics of Legends. Yeah, exactly. That's it. So I think it's going to go over well because people love the Legends game. But for me, this is going to be what I'm skipping because Legends was trash. I just hope that the eventual Gen 5 remake is going to be worth the wait. But anyway, instead of repeating myself another billion times, I'm going to end the stream here. Hopefully, I will be back with proper Wednesday streams again. As you can tell from my voice, I'm not exactly 100% over stuff yet. But hopefully, I'll be back for that soon. I will definitely be coming back for Dragon's Dogma 2. Even if I'm not fully ready yet, I will definitely be coming back for Dragon's Dogma 2. But yeah, I'll be leaving this for now, guys. Thank you very much for watching and listening to me rant. Pretty much what we expected. Feels nice to all be back. Aye. It was nice to see the chat again. It's I've been away for too long. But hopefully I'll be over the majority of this chest infection soon enough. Bye for now.